Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'm Owen James. This is all your latest Rangers news, guys. Well, in the words of the great Slim Shady, guess who's back? Back again. Yes, the great Eminem once sang those words, and it is now time for us as Rangers fans to sing those words. Yes, guess who's back? Back again. Well, it seemed that this player had been frozen out of Clermont's plans, that there was no possibility of a return, and that he was not part of the boss's plans for the first team as he languished within the B team. However, he's been an utter professional from beginning to end of this saga, coming back from the Euros, coming back from Romania duty. That's right, Yanis is back, guys. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But how do we know? How do you know that Ianis Hagi is back? Are you just making this shit up? No, I'm not just making this shit up. This is how I know. Tweeted out today by the actual club themselves. Ianis Hagi 10 back in training. Yes, there was also a match gallery as well, preparation for the UEFA Europa League, and Hagi is there training with the first team. Also, it's been reported as well by a number of official Rangers sources. Joshua Barry also tweeting it out as well recently within the last hour that there has been a solution reached between the club and Yanis's people to allow Ianis Hagi to return to the first team. Now, of course, there was all these rumours, these stories going around that Hagi wasn't going to be played because of he had this clause in his contract that after 99 appearances that the club would owe him an extra $6,000 or something in wages a week. That was the first one. Then there was story B, that if he played this 100th game, this mythical 100 game for Rangers, that Genk would be owed somewhere in the region of 1.2 to 1.5 million euros in transfer fee. Then, of course, there's story 3, that he just didn't feature in the manager's plans, that Clermont just did not fancy him. And I think there's a number of Rangers fans that were utterly perplexed about the failure to include a Romanian international, player quite clearly seen as, after the Euros, has been one of the best players in Romania's team, and a very skillful player at that. A player who on a number of occasions for Rangers has proven himself to be a valuable asset for the club. Fantastic range of passing, for example, eye for goal, ability to take a set piece, ability to play in a number of positions in midfield as well. At number 10, can also play, I think, as an 8 or a 6. Now, given the fact that Rangers have, as we discussed in the podcast this morning, a paucity of options in that midfield area once Dio is out, even if Lawrence was to contract an injury, the number of options we have in that midfield area are also, very slim indeed. So, the bringing back of Hagi from that aspect makes all the sense in the world. It gives us yet another option in that midfield, and a very talented option in that as well, like a new signing in a way, a Romanian international. And this comes off the back as well of the head of the Romanian FA discussing his worries and fears for Ianis Hagi, over his inability to obviously play for Rangers and his inability of Rangers to pick him. It now appears that all those fears can be set aside as Ianis is back with the first team. Now, whether this is just a short-term measure as well, whether, of course, the club still wants to move on from Ianis, whether the club still wants to allow Ianis to leave at some point, putting him into the first team squad and allowing him to play makes all the sense in the world from transfer fees as well. Allowing the player to get himself fully match fit, allowing the player to impress for the A team in Europe and in domestic competition as well, will certainly help to, sort of cement his fee, and if not raise his fee as well. The Hagi name carries with it a certain price anyway. The Hagi name carries with it a certain, certain je ne sais quoi, as Del Boy would say. And if he comes back, if he plays well in domestic games and is given it, let's first work on it from this aspect. If he's given the chance to play, he comes back, impresses in domestic games, impresses in European games. Now, of course, he is not in the European squad, so can't feature on Thursday night, but of course can be used domestically. Now, obviously, again, given the need to rotate the squad after Thursday nights, after those European games, having that extra option as well. If Hagi comes back, impresses in domestic football, there's a good chance, of course, it could raise his value. So all of this makes a lot of sense from a number of points. So as well, in terms of Europe, he could be. I think there is a point where the squad can be reviewed, but having Hagi back, I think, is an excellent move by the club and an excellent move for the club. I like Hagi. I think he's a good player. I think he's a skillful player. I think the fact that as well that he was basically chased out of the club by Michael Beale last year when he said little more than he wanted to play. I think the way that Hagi's conducted himself throughout this entire saga, the way that Hagi has talked about wanting to play for the club, that he's come back from the Euros. He's trained with the B team as he was told to do. He's played for the B team as he was told to do. Now, it would have been quite simple for him to kick off, to say, right, that's it, not playing, going on strike. No, it's not happening. I'm not going to play for the B team. I'm just going to sit at home. I'll, take the fines, whatever. But he's come back with the right attitude, trained with the B team, played for the B team, done exceptionally well for the B team. He's now back in the first team squad. And I think this is excellent news for Rangers and excellent news for Ianis Hagi as well. Welcome back, Yanis. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, drop me a sub, drop a like, and remember to also drop that comment, drop that like as well, because it helps the video to grow. Thanks for watching. We are the people.